I am going to be casting myself into the flames, doing the very valiant move of putting my opinions on the internet in the form of a tier list. Something so brave I'll be waiting for my Medal of Honor after this. I thought I would compile and rank every single Gobblegum within Black Ops 6 Zombies on this wonderful tier list here. I forgot to change it, hang on. S for succulent and D is whimsical. Okay, there we go. S, succulent. D is just going to be our whimsicals because they are technically the worst Gobblegums. And it's also being made within the first week of the game's launch. I'm sure that by the time the life cycle of the game ends, we're going to have way more Gobblegums, and maybe I'll revisit the topic then. But for now, we have quite a few, we have 28, and I'm going to be giving very exceptional takes here. What more would you expect? And one last thing, this is my opinion, this is a divisive thing. So if you disagree, or if you agree, then comment down below and we'll discuss it. Okay, we're going to be starting with our Newton... I said it wrong already. Okay, we're going to be starting with Newtonian Negation. This is a whimsical, this was in Black Ops 3, and I believe it was in Black Ops 4 as well. Obviously, you know, spoiler alert, I don't know if there's some subtle foreshadowing going on here, but our whimsicals, I'm just going to put both of them in D. All whimsicals are funny, goofy, Lamau, quirky Gobblegums that make zombies fart and fall upwards and stuff. Don't worry about it. I think any of the other Gobblegums so far are a C or above. None of these are necessarily bad. Okay, I guess we'll start with our rares. So, Temporal Gift. I get it, it makes the next power-up you pick up twice as long, so it would be 30 seconds to a minute. I was doing the Liberty Falls Easter egg with my friends, and they didn't even notice. This just kind of comes and goes. And I feel like it's very situational, as in you have to really plan around the Gobblegum. However, when you plan around this, and say you get the right synergy, you know, something with like a raindrops or a Killjoy, chef's kiss, right? So it really depends how you use it, but if you have it in your Gobblegum pack and blindly use it without really thinking, it's gonna feel a lot more anticlimactic. I don't think it's especially amazing, but it has its uses and I can't deny it. B tier. Stock option is next. I'm not a fan of this. I just don't find it very useful. It's literally just waste ammo the Gobblegum, kind of like what Black Ops 1's double tap did and World at War's double tap. When you use it, you feel as though you're burning through your ammo constantly. The only time I can really see it being really good is for like LMGs maybe. It feels more like a gimmick though. I feel like the novelty wears off very quick. I don't know, it doesn't feel particularly special. It just swaps the order around from your magazine to the stock. I don't really mind taking a second to reload. Welcome to C tier stock option. Welcome to C tier. Killjoy spawns an instant insta-kill. Did that even make sense? Instantly spawns an insta-kill. Playing BO6 and seeing the spike in difficulty has made me realise how valuable an insta-kill is, especially in the later rounds or in boss fights. And so, to me, I think that is easily an A tier, right? Right? It helps you shred through manglers, which are absolutely busted in this game. The anomalies, or whatever they're called, abominations. Being able to have that on command is A tier to me. If you're popping it at the right time, it's gonna be a good run. Shields Up is kind of a difficult one for me because I feel as though it's a really nice Gobblegum to have. All it does is replenish your armor slots, but for 3 minutes, those armor plates are stronger. Twice as strong, actually. But I don't think that's that bad. I mean, armor plates in zombies can get torn through quicker than I get through a Toby Carvery, so being able to replenish them instantly and have them twice as durable is nothing special. And maybe I'm being too generous, but I'm gonna put it in very low B. Oh, this one's gonna ruffle some feathers. Oh no. Cashback. If this was Black Ops 3, you know this would be at the top, right? Or like A. This would be at A. But this isn't Black Ops 3. It's BO6, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm very rattled about Cashback because it used to be really good in Black Ops 3, and don't get me wrong, it's a really good Gobblegum now. It still slaps, but nowhere near as hard as it used to. It's been significantly nerfed by how easily accessible ammo is everywhere, much like the Disneyland parks where every 30 steps there's a bin. In Black Ops 6, every 30 steps around a map, there's an ammo crate that you can just buy ammo from. And it's not just normal weapons you can get ammo for constantly, it's wonder weapons too. You can still buy ammo for wonder weapons. Don't get me wrong, the price is a little hefty, but late game, money's not even a problem. And if you're using the wonder weapon efficiently, you're probably not going to need the max ammo until the Parasite or Vermin round. I'm not saying this Gobblegum is bad by any means, I don't think any of these are. except for one. But really, it feels as though it's been nerfed, I guess. Like there's not as much incentive or urgency to need it. And compare it to something like Killjoy, which is now more valuable than it was, considering how spongy and tanky a lot of Manglers and Abominations are. It's been shafted and overshadowed by a lot of other Gobblegums, and it is going to be useful, but for me personally, top of C tier. Arsenal Accelerator. It's okay. I don't know what more to say about this. It charges up your specialist, like, field upgrade faster. It's alright. It's, you know, yeah, I'm just gonna... Anywhere But Here, you either love it or hate it. I'm a lover, alright? I'm an Anywhere But Here lover. When activated, this one will teleport you to a random spot on the map, which can either be on the other side of it, or right at the place you were wanting to get away from. And this is going to be a get out of jail free card more than it is going to be a hindrance. Anywhere But Here can save you from dying, and that's kind of enough for me to use it. Or at least on a casual run anyway. Putting this one in B tier. Okay, that's all of the rares. It's getting a bit intense now. On to our epic tier Gobblegums. Who's keeping score? A tier. Easy. All you have to do is just know when to pop it, and like, this can help you get set up really early on. And given how expensive everything is in BO6 Zombies, it's honestly pretty bad. We've got a bit of an inflation crisis going on. Being able to get them points up when zombie kills don't give you too many points, I would say is worth it. If you can mix this with Temporal Gift, that'll make a good combo. Okay, let's do Exit Strategy next. What I don't even know what to say about this Gobblegum. I don't like it. It is such a skid mark on this long list of great Gobblegums we've got. When I read it, I thought it was going to be really good. I thought this was going to be the answer to our prayers, you know? Exfils are hard. The zombie crowd basically swallows you whole like you're in a mosh pit. Exit Strategy is meant to fix that kind of by instantly spawning an exfil and reducing the amount of zombies that come during said exfil. Me and my mate tried this on round 22, I believe, and the amount of zombies it spawned in, the horde was still a massive Chungus-sized group. It felt like it did next to nothing, so the differences couldn't even be properly observed. I mean, if that was round 22 and it didn't make a difference, then I feel like it's basically pointless. In fact, the best thing I think Exit Strategy is for is just calling the exfil whenever you want. But at that point, if you're on solo, just save and quit, or I don't know, let your dinner go cold instead and just keep playing. This Gobblegum disappointed me. I'm like a disappointed parent. Exit Strategy, I thought you could do better than that. In fact, I'm frowning on it so hard right now that I am going to make this D tier be whimsical / foul, and it is going to be banished there. Ugh, get that shit down there. We don't need this ruining our amazing tier list. Free Fire, this one's very open and shut for me. It's basically stock option, but it doesn't shaft you for using your ammo. There's no consequences to it. It gives you unlimited ammo. Simply hold the trigger and not have to worry about anything else. It lasts 60 seconds. That's long enough for me, and I think you can get a lot of kills racked up in that time. So Free Fire, pretty good Gobblegum. B tier. It would have been higher up if it did work on wonder weapons, but it doesn't. Nowhere But There. This is where, instead of Anywhere But Here, it's the opposite. Instead of using it when you're in a bad situation, you use it to get to someone else's bad situation, to put yourself in one. It teleports you to a downed player, and once you do, it will instantly revive them, which is great. They're not going to keep their perks like a Phoenix up would do for them, but it can be used with some Gobblegums that should help smooth over their recovery, so they don't fall into the cycle of constantly getting up and then going down and then getting up and then going down that I'm sure we've all been stuck in at one point or another. Using a Killjoy or a Free Fire for them to clear the area and get a bit of time to focus and recover is a good combination to have with this. That kind of synergy isn't needed, sure, but considering they don't keep their perks, it would be helpful. I would say this is S purely because of like team utility, but there's two others that do it way better, so I'm gonna say Nowhere But There is A tier. If your mate is on Terminus, stranded like a castaway like Tom Hanks on one of the islands, and they down, good luck getting to them. You're probably gonna need travel insurance for how far you'll be going. And I just think if you're brave enough to be able to use this and pull it off, especially, the execution for this Gobblegum is the most important part. It can stop one of the boys from bleeding out, but there's that twinge of danger in there because they could have a huge horde on them. But when it's done right, it's an A tier easily. Profit sharing. I'm gonna be honest, I don't rate this as much as maybe I probably should. When activated, this will give teammates nearby a small portion of the points you get from kills and stuff. Not only do you have to be in range of the people around you on your team for this to work, but also, it doesn't even give you all the points, or I don't even think it gives you half, it just says a portion of points. And when I was watching the numbers go up for my friends, it wasn't a lot. And you might be thinking, oh, well, if it gives your friends a boost in points, how can it be that bad? And yeah, that might be true because then they can open doors and things. But oh wait, you can pay half for doors now anyway. And factors like that take away from this a bit. On the other hand, pop this thing with a double points and maybe a temporal gift or something, you and your team are eating good. On its own, it works well, and I like it enough to consider it useful and worth having in your Gobblegum pack, especially if you're using a temporal gift, and so there is value to be had. I bestow upon profit sharing B tier status, respin cycle, the Gobblegum that was in Black Ops 3 and it let you respin the box if you didn't like what you got. And I mean, it's alright. Again, I think it's good, but only just. I feel like some people will use this once, have the box respin over to a wonder weapon and go, oh my god, it's the best thing ever. But I don't know, spinning the box really isn't what it used to be now, and you know, like I said, if this was BO3, maybe it would be a bit higher up, but I can see the value, and when it does pay off, it's good. And take into consideration that crate power with this is a no-brainer, I can see why people would use this more often. I don't think it really stands out from the crowd, but calling this bad to me isn't the right way I'd go, so it's going to B tier. And last of the epic tier, soda fountain, or as we like to call it, poor man's perkaholic. If you are poor and you are man, this is very good. The best way I can describe soda fountain is buy one get one free. You go up to a perk machine, let's say Juggernog, you buy it, and when you do that, you'll also get another random perk added. After a couple of perks down your gullet, you'll basically have perkaholic. I think this should be higher than an epic. And to me, the utility of it, like being able to get perkaholic levels of good, very succulent. Onto our legendaries, crate power kicking us off. Once again, another box related thing, and I'm hesitating to put these things higher. I'm trying my best, I'm trying, but using the box in BO6 really isn't that good. Or at least not until the later rounds, but by that point, you're probably set up anyway. What crate power changes about the box though, is when you spin it, whatever gun you end up taking will be pack-a-punched. You could get a papped ray gun straight out of the box, a papped jet gun, or a nice fresh, cleanly pack-a-punched AR. I believe it only does it to pack-a-punch level 1, which, you know, later rounds, maybe that's not so great. And it does skip a bit of that grind for points. That's an instant 5,000 points you're saving. Once again though, you might as well just have your loadout weapon and focus on that. It's okay, it's good, but a lot of the time you're going to be playing catch-up, trying to keep up with this thing as the rounds go on by upgrading it constantly, but to me, it's nice that it, you know, saves a bit of that grind. B tier, Idle Eyes, the stronger, steroid-induced brother of In Plain Sight. In Plain Sight in Black Ops 3 would make you invisible to the zombies. It was kind of like the zombie blood on Origins, but Idle Eyes does this for all players, and that can be really valuable. I think there's a lot of utility here. It can save yourself, it can save your friends, it can give you a moment to breathe so you can like focus on Easter egg steps or radios, crafting the wonder weapon, spinning the box, anything you need where you need time, where zombies aren't just constantly trying to lick your earlobe. Idle Eyes is the solution, and the cherry on top is that it works for all players. It's pure versatility, and the fact that you can clutch up with it lands it in A tier. Okay, we've got another controversial one. I repeat, we've got another controversial one. Immolation Liquidation spawns a fire sale. On the surface, if this was Black Ops 3, pretty good, right? Yeah, in Black Ops 6, once again, the box isn't that worth it. This will be good, however, for Easter egg runs, say if you don't have a wonder bar, which we'll be covering later. It lets you and the squad spin the boxes to your heart's content for like, what, 30 seconds? If you're lucky and you get some really good guns and wonder weapons, that's good. You're not gonna be all the time, and once again, you're not in desperate need for weapons like you are in Black Ops 1, World at War, Black Ops 2, because a lot of the time a war weapon is gonna be great as it is, and you're most likely gonna spawn in with a pimped out AR or shotgun that will take you really far, if not the whole match. Maybe that's down to playstyle. I tend to just stick to loadout more and occasionally spin the box, but I'll just focus on one gun and maybe get a wonder weapon as a secondary or something. But I can't deny its utility getting 4 people stocked to the brim with weapons and equipment. I think it's a delectable Gobblegum, but maybe not A tier, so for now it's going to be top of B, aka nice and solid. On the House gives everyone a free perk. Remember how I said we have an inflation crisis going on in COD Zombies? This also applies to perks. They are expensive, costing up to like 4,000 plus. Our pockets are going to be drier than a desert by the time we've chugged a few perks, and having one for free, especially if it's one you're wanting, is good for everyone involved. And the only problem I have with it is if you die, like go down, there's a chance you're going to lose that perk. I think this is a juicy Gobblegum. It can add a bit of dopamine to them early rounds. Getting a perk at round 1 or something, it's a big help instantly and can really soften the blow of the more expensive stuff later on. I'd say this is poorer poor man's perkaholic, like poverty perkaholic, but even then it's not, because you would need so many for this to actually work. But on its own, it's not trying to be perkaholic, it just gives you a nice boost. Goes up to A tier. Phoenix up. Okay, the way I felt about this bad boy in Black Ops 3 is the exact same as I do feel now. It clears many other aid Gobblegums. Not only does popping this thing revive all players, but it lets them keep all of their perks. I'll repeat that. It revives all players and lets them keep all of their perks. I want you to imagine you're in the middle of the Terminus boss fight and things are getting absolutely insane. Everyone's down, you're the last one alive, and you're about to become red chowder. The boys are in the headset screaming, "Come on man, you need to pick us up," and most likely screaming some unhinged slurs at you, saying you need to clutch up or never talk to them again. You're hesitating, you're nervous, your knees are weak and palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti is nearly ready and you can't pause. Pop the Phoenix up, everyone is up, straight back to where you left off. This can save not only teammates, but whole matches, whole runs that you've put a lot of time into, and a lot of setups your friends have put a lot of time into. Top of S, it is the deciding factor of all matches. On co-op anyway. Solo, there's no point in using it. Maybe that takes away from it, but I think it's succulent tier alone, just on co-op. I can't even begin to explain how valuable this is. Wall power. Now, I was thinking originally of putting this above crate power, but I'm actually going to put it one below. Imagine everything I said about crate power, except wall weapons are consistent and you get to choose it, but with the box, you don't have to take the weapon. So you can just spin it until you get the one you want. Wall power, on the other hand, you're limited to things that aren't wonder weapons. If that's what you're wanting, then great, if you're wanting a packed SMG or something, but crate power lets you spin the box, and if there's a wonder weapon you want, you can get it and have it upgraded straight away. These two could easily be interchangeable. Some might prefer wall power, some might prefer crate power. It comes down to taste. Wall to wall clearance. This is a fire sale, but for wall weapons. I think it's good. I think you get a lot more control here than an immolation as to what weapon you actually want. Once again though, the thing that makes it slightly less for me than an immolation is the chance that you could get a wonder weapon from the box. And especially later on, if you need a gun or something, getting one for 10 points at such a high rarity, that's really good. It's like a tin of beans, you know exactly what you're getting, you know it's going to be good, and it is dirt cheap. It's going to fit nice and snug here between immolation and crate power. Similar to immolation, it applies to the whole team. And much like wall power, it skips a lot of that grind. So using them both together would be really cool as well. So I would say it stands pretty nicely with the rest of these. Okay, moment of truth, what we've been waiting for, the ultra tier. Starting off with hidden power. This is kind of cracked. Okay, it's kind of cracked. Hidden power upgrades the gun you're holding to legendary rarity. Think about how insane that is. The grind it's saving you for how much salvage you have to constantly be investing into a gun, it wipes that away. You can now use that salvage as you wish. Now think about popping this on round 1. And this isn't some small deal either. Getting legendary rarity can take people their whole match, especially if you don't have a suppressor on your gun that gives you more salvage. It takes some time. I don't think it gets much better than this. This is easily one of the best Gobblegums in the game because of the sheer power you're getting straight off the bat, and also how much effort and salvage you'll be saving. It does a way better job of what crate power and wall power do. Sure, you still have to pack a punch it to tier 3, but legendary rarity is very difficult to obtain. It takes a long time. And when I say that, I mean 9,000 salvage from common rarity up to legendary. Very succulent, if I do say so myself. Oh yes, we love it. We love to see it. Perkaholic, the Gobblegum that sent everyone insane. You get to have every single perk in the map. And this is even better than it was in BO3 because considering how perks get gradually more expensive, it makes it even more worth the investment of using it. Perkaholic for a while has been the showstopper for zombies. It's the Gobblegum. The power creep it gives you early on and what you retain later on, it's monstrous. All the perks, that's kind of nuts. It's good for Easter eggs and high rounds. It's extremely satisfying to get, and all of these perks are going to save you a ton of money and keep you alive. With Perkaholic active, you become a one-man unit.
Don't fuck with this.
I'm gonna make a very bold take here, S tier. By putting that there, I am truly the bravest man to ever exist. Raindrops, in my head, I know where I want to put this, but I think people aren't gonna like it. The description is really deceiving. It says it gives you all the core power-ups, but as we know, the core power-ups are nukes, max ammo, insta-kill, double points, and a fire sale. However, but now apparently the core perks include a max armor, a full power, a perk, and a bonus points. That is madness at the highest level. If they're core power-ups, then yeah, we may as well just have them all. If this was only going to spawn in the true core power-ups, you know, the original ones, then this would be lower, but considering how much you actually do get, I'm going to put it right at the top of A tier. It does everything better than the Killjoy, the Who's Keeping Score, the On the House, and I'm sure mixing this with a temporal gift will literally accelerate it to S, but I think top of A, it is the king of A. I think that's perfect for it. The stuff you get is really cool, but I don't think there's many long-lasting effects. It gives you this big power boost. I think the perk is probably the best thing you get from it. And then once all of the power-ups are over, kind of starts dropping off. The match goes back to normal. Still, this is great for Easter egg runs, like in the boss fight area and stuff, when you need this sudden burst of chaos. Near-death experience, what a banger. I understand why this has the ultra rarity tier. It lasts for 3 minutes or 5 revives, and it lets you revive or be revived by being near other players. And much like Phoenix Up, the other players keep their perks. Huge banger. The only problem I have with it is you have to be near them. Phoenix Up can do it anywhere, anytime. I think this is better for when players keep getting overwhelmed and you have to just run over, revive them, or if you die yourself, they can come up to you. Because as is tradition with COD Zombies, if you go down and then you get back up, you're probably gonna get knocked on your arse again. And this also isn't forgetting that not only does it revive players who are near you when the Gobblegum is active, but it revives you if you're near other players. I think that's a neat little feature. I still think Phoenix Up is a bit more flexible, but I think that near-death experiences bonuses are a lot better. It completely depends on the situation you're in. Phoenix Up can be good for when you're separated from your group and you're completely cut off from them, but near-death experience is overall the better Gobblegum. It depends on the situation, but near-death beats out Phoenix Up, top of S tier. And last but not least, Wunderbar. Popping this is going to guarantee that the next weapon that the mystery box spits out is going to be a wonder weapon, and I'm going to really stick my neck out with this take, but I think it's succulent as hell. Much like with Perkaholic, I don't really think I need to say much about this one. It's going to save you points. You're not going to need to be wringing your pockets out for the whole match, just for a chance at getting the wonder weapon. And also, you're not going to need to spend time doing that either. Let's say you're doing the Liberty Falls Easter egg, and you need that consistency, you don't want to build the jet gun, you can just get it from the box. Unless it ends up being a ray gun. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. If you were to do a solo only and take off Near Death and Phoenix Up, then I do think Perkaholic is the best Gobblegum. But because we're including everything, I'm trying to keep this as well-rounded as possible. Objectively, keeping your teammates alive, and even yourself if you're using Near Death, makes those two co-op ones the best in the game. It helps everyone out and it keeps the match going, keeps things smoothing. Smoothing? Keeps the wheels turning. At the top, we've got our very delicious succulent balls. Down at A, we've got our great ones. You can't go wrong having these in your pack. Same with B, we've got some pretty good ones here. I would say they're worth having, they're good to use. C, you could put them in your pack, but maybe if you didn't have any of the other ones from B and above. These are very average balls. And then our funky, weird, strange, whimsical balls. Don't put those in your mouth unless you want it to get weird. An exit strategy, I still hate you. And that has been every launch Gobblegum in Black Ops 6 Zombies ranked in this tier list. Once again, it's subjective. I can hear the clickety-clacks of the keyboards already. I think I'm doomed now. At the end of the day, it's only a bit of fun though. I wanted to have a look at these, have some discussion, and hopefully give you guys a good video. But anyways, I'm going to leave this video here today. If you enjoyed, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts down below on what you thought of this tier list. What would you change and move around? Subscribe to the channel if you want already, you won't regret it, and turn on the notification bell too to stay notified whenever I upload a video. Also, shout out to our first channel member, Pleb. The support you bring to me in this channel is really appreciated. Consider becoming an exceptional channel member today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. I can't wait to look at this tomorrow and change my mind about everything.